I called her after me calling her, I called her stupid last time I was down at the Cape. Then I apologized later after me and Dad went for a ride and took me to go off. Then she next thing you know, she just walked upstairs and then he said my fucking apology that you know. So yeah, so she didn't accept my apology. So even when I meant it was triggered more of my PTSD and anger, and they made me feel like this reminds me of the times when Mom, Vinny, and AJ, and everyone I was living with in the house was Mom, Vinny, and AJ. For 7 years, those assholes didn't accept my apology whenever I apologized to them for 7 years, which was a lot of times, and they never even once accept my apology. These didn't accept this is 3 assholes. So there was another time when I burned myself a little, and I seen that said that's going dummy, and then laughed. Then she apologized, realizing she hurt my feelings, and I accepted it. But then she did a bunch of other stuff that made me more angry at her. So why are you? So yeah, and I was down the first Cape House. I was down at the Cape House, the old Cape House, before they moved to the new Cape House in 2016 was when I last saw them in person. And when I was it was last time I was at the Cape House, not last time I saw them in person. So yeah. And that was how I made a comment on how I hated the new Cape House because it's so quiet and depressing on my show. That's that one. That's the new Cape House I was talking about. And yet there's so many rooms. I just don't know why there's so many rooms if there's never really crowded. It's like doesn't make any sense to me. So yeah. Anyway, so another time I was on the show and Mom is that when I was 1 and Auntie Margaret, when her course was in this church, me and she were playing a video game on mute because Dad was okay with it, and Mom actually yelled at us saying, "Have respect for the fucking dead. Put the damn video game away and don't tell your father tell your father about this," she said. And she just said, "Listen to your mother." As she gave me a serious, I feel like we did something wrong when we were just being kids. I'm gonna get Gary to back her up on it. So no one actually talked back to Mom because there's no way she could do something because she's the fucking mother. And we're just a couple of dumb retired kids, probably, is what they were thinking. That is just loud and blah 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 annoying. And Mom said the 5 years before the divorce, 5 years before I was living with Mom and Vinny, and the 7 years when I was living with Mom and Vinny, whenever we would go out in public, saying that image is everything. In other words, don't be yourself, don't have fun, don't talk. Is what, in other words, and she said all that stuff. She also said, don't laugh and giggle, and she said, just behave yourself. As in, by behaving herself, her version being for being quiet and as miserable as possible. So, and No reason why I got thrown downstairs by Vinny and Uncle Paul first for the 7 years, and Rico too. Rico threw me downstairs in the second house after that I got kicked out. So, which was the person that always gave drugs to Uncle Paul and Vinny before I started living with them. Started living with Mom and Vinny for 7 years. So the first 5 years, that's who supplied them drugs. Last time I checked, he's in prison, Rico, so also good riddance. So for 5 years and the 7 years when we lived with Mom, he asked us to call him Uncle Rico, which was a lie because he was related, because he wasn't even related to Mom. This Mom's friend that she knew, meant to say. And yeah, so another reason why Vinny and Uncle Paul, mostly Vinny, Uncle Vinny, threw me down the stairs for 7 years. During the 7 years I was living with Mom, before we moved to the second Medford house. Until we moved to the second Medford house, that's what I'm going to say. Is that, is because I would dress up as an Incredible Hulk and Spider-Man from Marvel Comics. And he would throw me down the stairs because I said I make a terrible Incredible Hulk and a terrible Spider-Man. And I just played them like they were in the comics. Hulk was basically a big child with anger issues, and Spider was just well, she didn't have anger issues, but he was a childish. So with a child's sense of humor, and also very smart, single on his toes. So he threw me downstairs and kept on throwing me downstairs and kept on ask me no more. Will tell me no more Spider-Man. So one day I stopped being Spider-Man the Hulk, and that was at the age 8. I stopped dressing up like them. Like at the age 8 because I just couldn't take any more throwing down the stairs. Needed to the age 5 till 8 and stop at the age 8. And for 7 years, when I was during the 7 years, they threw me down the stairs for obsessing over Marvel and DC Comics and talking about how awesome they are and how they're nothing like them, and I was even as cool as their movies. Marvel, mostly a little more towards Marvel, I was saying that too, than DC. Because I'm more of a Marvel fan than DC, and he just told me to shut up. I'm a fan of Marvel Comics and DC Comics, Back then, it was he just told me to shut up while throwing me down the stairs. And, stop the feeling that I have pretty much every day, just like the other times. And, still hurts my back when the winter gets cold. Sometimes. So, and another thing, he forbidden me, NHA and Mom getting dental work or doing anything important or doing anything fun. He forbid completely. So that's why he threw us down the stairs for watching all those TV shows. Like Fear Factor, Family Guy, South Park, SpongeBob, Barney the Dinosaur, Elmo, and Grouchland movie, Follow That Bird movie, Sesame Street. Didn't matter what it was, whether it was all alternative or kid-friendly or in between. It was just, he didn't want us to have fun because he forbid us having fun. So, on school night, he threw us down the stairs, me and AJ, for watching television in the family room after we went grocery shopping with him for the first and last time, and he would complain all the way on the way home, saying how he spent like $100. Of course, he mostly got booze, the small kinds, and we got snacks and stuff. Because he didn't have the big kinds of booze, that's why he got the small kinds of. And, so we got snacks, funny snacks and stuff, and cereal and food. We picked out all the stuff that me and Jim wanted. And, then he was giving us a shit for, even though most of the money was spent on him, spent on his booze, because he got more of that than anything. So, when I got home, we went upstairs watching TV in the family, and then he threw us down the stairs. Then he threw us down the stairs after we decided to watch TV in our own separate rooms, away from each other, while Vinny was in his bed. So he must have heard us watching TV, so he threw us down the stairs on that school night. This all happened on one night. And, when I was 8, we went to the ice cream bar, and I like to imagine it was just the same ice cream bar that SpongeBob went to in the SpongeBob movie from 2004. So I got a banana, but I called it Triple Gooberry Sunrise. So Mom and Reggie got me that. So while I was looking for the Best Day Ever song, and Finny pulled me away from the jukebox machine that plays music. It was an old-fashioned one. And I decided to lecture me how this is not a special day for me, it's a special day for him. Even though it's my birthday, not Vinny's. He says every day that you live and breathe is my special day, not yours. People like you don't get special days, he said. Losers don't get special days, unfortunately, because I'm one of those kind of people. I am a loser. So, and he told me to shut up about this bunch of week. You're acting like it's the greatest movie ever. It's not like Die Hard or Terminator 2. It's not as good as those. And I just said it was better. And then he yelled at me more and more, getting me more worked up. And then I just decided to talk back to him. And then Mom came to the table, and while she was at the juice box, finding the Best Day Ever song, then found it and stopped playing. And I got to listen to the Best Day Ever song, the rest of that song, or finish the ice cream. Because Vinny played the victim, I was acting out for no reason. My Mom defended Vinny, and I just said, "Shut up, cunt," and slapped her in the face. Because I was just tired of being mistreated my whole life. And, that's when Mom grabbed me by the arm while people were walking by, and while grabbed me in the corner and she yelled at me and slapped me. Once I yanked the necklace off her, and then she slapped me twice in the face. And people were just walking by looking like I was probably misbehaving. Looking at me like a misbehaving child, because the people just assume because the mother, she's in the right always, because she's not. So Sweet got into the car. She brought me in the car. She grabbed me down, brought me in the car, and she says, "We're never going to that ice cream place ever again, ever." So I tried killing us, but most of us, by playing us to the steering wheel that Mom was holding on to. I was hoping to get us both in a car accident since we couldn't get to the ice cream place to go to the ice cream place again. Then I decided to, and then after she pushed me off of her, I decided to just like leave the car while it was moving and just jump right out of it and rolled. And so she wasn't concerned for me. All she was just concerned the fact that she can't control me and doesn't know how to handle me. So I went with Vinny, and she says, for my own good, and says, no, it's not. You just want me to die and be miserable. Fuck. Basically, I said so. It was like me how it was. If I was living with Dad, he wouldn't put up with this shit like the three of us do. And H was saying stuff. I was asking, did you got the? So I was just because I asked if he saved the ice cream. So then it says, "Is it you mad?" He said, like, "Dude," she said, like, if he saved the ice cream, otherwise he didn't. So I tried killing him, strangling him with my seatbelt, because after I called him dead to me, and after I said this goes without saying that Vinny's dead to me, after Vinny sarcastically asked that question first, he's dead to me, I answered back saying there's no question about it, that goes without saying. And then I said Mom's dead to me, and that's when Dad became dead to me, and everyone in the family became dead to me. Everyone I ever known and loved became dead to me because I realized I knew the truth. No one cares about me will give me unconditional love. No one wants to. I have no home, no family, nothing. That's when I stopped caring about life. At the age 8 in December of 2005, summer vacation. And then next year we got home, I got yanked off of AJ from strangling him by Vinny. Jesus set my back on the cement. And, it was very painful. My back was sliding on the cement. Some skin came off, and I had to slide on the cement. After he slammed me on cement, I decided to slide. I slid a bit, and then he took my head and closed the door on my head. His red truck door, several times, hard, really hard. And then he dragged me into the house, dragged me upstairs, and then dragged me to my room, and he said, "No leaving the room for anything." And then I left the room less than a minute, so I left the room. And then he yelled and said, I said no, leave in the room. And threw me down the 15 feet of stairs that in the front of the house, leading to the front porch. And I decided to, I'll sleep there. And I told Vinny my feelings, just why don't you just kill me? What's the point of making me listen? What's the point of? I don't understand why you just don't kill me either. So yeah, I said to Vinny, and I basically told him I have no home or family because no one wants to give me unconditional love. After Vinny saying this is your home and family, and I said no, it's not. So because I have no home, no family. I didn't have the first 5 years when I was living with Mom and Daddy, I said. That's when I accept that I'm this not a lovable person. Because even though it hurt to admit that, I just was okay with that. And that's when, no matter how, and that's when I stopped whining, crying, shouting, and I shouted less often and cried less often. When Vinny abused me after that day, that's when it slowed down, and that's when I became used to it. Well, Vinny just, karaoke to his room, and then mom, after, and then he went to his room. Then he did after putting into his room, and let me just sleep downstairs like I asked, like he suggested, and I said that's a good idea. And so I slept downstairs, the 13th flight of stairs. I slept down the bottom of it for the whole week. Rest of the so mom came home. Then she decided to leave me downstairs. It wasn't worried at all why I was down the stairs. And then she found me still on the downstairs on Friday. It said because Fridays when I woke up and I fell asleep on Monday afternoon. So I was sleeping for a few days because the abuse wore me out so much. Then mom was horrified that I was sleeping that long when I basically told her, and then she washed me off the cobwebs and the dry blood from my skull, the back of my skull, most of the back of my skull, some from the front of my skull, and I put big band-aids on them, those spots where the blood was, and foreign, and get me new clothes. And I told mom what I realized, that I have no home or family because no one wants to give me unconditional love. And then mom told Adrian that, so that's when dad came earlier than usual, 5 o'clock in the morning, and then it was the weekend. On a Friday. So that's... Oh, no. Every school, starting at Dover and Entwistle Lighthouse, gave me a hard time for picking my nose and rubbing on my shirt or flinging in the air. So they gave me timeout. It was either timeout or detention, depending on the school. For Columbus, it was always detention every day. For that reason, we're discussing an inappropriate behavior, the principal said, and the Columbus, that's the place it was, and Lighthouse said the same thing that Columbus said, and Dover School said the same thing what Lighthouse said, except Lighthouse gave me time out for 15 minutes. And I had with a dumbass cone that was basically a paper cone that said dumbass on it. And Dover School before I got transferred was the special needs classroom for the same reason. And then second school year I started at Lighthouse. I started ditching school because I wanted to spend more time with mom. And Ray told the school that I was doing nothing but watching TV and sleeping all day by myself in my room. Until I was hanging with mom, so they decided to cut me some slack. Me and she were taking care of hanging out with mom. So I got detention all day for the days to make up for the days I missed school for ditching school for playing hooky. So yeah, it sucked. Oh, and I realized another reason why I might have had why the playground thing happened. The playground thing at the age 7, when my head came on and the collapsed lung happened, and I had internal bleeding, and severe internal bleeding in the brain and concussion. Is because, well, I was wearing glasses, the wrong prescription for 2 years before, and that's the reason why I probably lost my grip off the monkey bars and my balance. This fairy was the teacher that was waiting for me, and said that what I just mentioned happened hours ago, and 6 hours have passed, and she was told that by this kid that was hiding in the playground when I was out cold. And look, it's not like she didn't bother looking for me. Yeah. And that's all I can remember.